Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome to our fifth class. Last class we completed the 19th lesson, that is classification of living organisms. I hope you all studied and listened and studied the lesson well. Please review your notes and study well. And if you have any doubts, you can message me, inshallah. I will clarify. And inshallah, from now, we will start the next lesson from the module 5, that is 20th lesson, history of life on earth. So in this lesson we are going to see how the scientists, what they say about how the history of life on earth happened. So before we get into this lesson, I have to give a warning, okay, a warning or important warning that we keep in our mind before we learn this lesson. Dear students, there are things that scientists say that are against Islam, what Islam says, or what Quran Allah says in the Quran. Okay, so we shouldn't believe in them. Okay, we should just reject them when we see them going against the Quran, because I've given you examples before that when scientists say something, it's not 100% truth. They give a theory. Even among the scientists, they have different opinions telling this is how earth formed, this is how the history of life was on earth. They have different theories, and I gave an example that if we go 70 years back into the history, from now 70 years back, scientists were like unanimously, it was agreed that universe did not have any beginning. That is what they believed. But later they told that there was something called as Big Bang. They brought Big Bang theory, and they told that no, there was an explosion, then universe came into existence, like that. So you can see that in the scientific field there is always a change. They say new things. They say another scientist come and say no, this is not how it was. He proposes a new theory saying this is what is right. So you see a constant change in science. So we don't, if we believe in things that has constant changes, then it is not appropriate for us, especially Muslims. Everything for us is non-contradictory. In the Quran, Islam, nothing is contradictory. But if we should not believe in these things that scientists say, so that's why it is not advisable for people that are not strong in Aqidah to study all these things. But anyway, in the curriculum, we are studying this in the country here, so that we score marks in our secular education. That's why it is necessary for us Muslims to have a proper system to teach the students and the Muslims proper science that does not contradict Islam. Anyway, we'll get into the lesson, but keep in mind that whatever we speak in the lesson is not 100% truth. It is just whatever scientists say, okay, based on the theory, the research. For example, you can say that scientists claim that this is how billion years before life formed. Did they go and see how it formed? No. Based on their theory, they put a theory. This is how. Okay, it's not 100% truth. Okay, it's all kind of a guesswork, but they have like some evidences like to say that this is how, but it's not 100% truth. Anyway, we'll get into this lesson. In this lesson we will see how what scientists say regarding all this life on earth, evolution, all these things. So there will be things like evolutions and all these things, so you don't believe in this. I'm reminding you so that we are saved, inshallah. May Allah protect our faith. First is physical conditions of primitive earth. Primitive earth is like, according to them, it is before the earth was uh, um, inhabited by the living organisms. They are saying physical conditions on primitive earth, it was not capable for life. They are saying it was extremely hot ball of hot gases. That's what they say. The second topic is solar system and the formation of planet earth. So even they are saying the universe around us is enormous. It is like big, enormous, that it is difficult even to imagine its dimensions. Okay. And there is a galaxy, they say Milky Way galaxy. Galaxy is basically all these planets and everything consist. Okay. uh, they are saying that the galaxy which we are in, it is called as Milky Way galaxy, and where our solar system is there. Okay. And in this solar system, Earth and other planets are there. Earth is the planet in which we live. These are all created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. um, and they are saying that Earth is revolving around the sun. This is what they say. And here in this activity 20.1, you don't have to do this, but these two paragraphs are this is important. So they are saying that universe was formed probably, see, you are here, they are using the word probably, 12 to 14 billion years ago, uh, as a result of Big Bang. This is a recent theory that they are saying. And they are saying subsequent expansion, that the universe is like expanding. Okay. They are saying our solar system came into existence 5 to 7 giga year. Here they are saying universe formed before 12 to 14 billion years ago. 1 giga year is equal to 1 billion year. So but they are saying our solar system, like sun, earth, mercury and all those things, it came into existence 5 to 7 billion years, that is giga years ago. Initial stage, uh, and at the 4.5 giga years before, Earth was impacted by another planet that caused a spin that gave us day and night. And tilt of our planet, that is Earth is tilted in an angle, and also it led to the formation of moon. All these things they are saying we don't have to believe in this, just study this for the sake of examination. I'm not sure if you can even study this for the sake of examination. If I was there, I wouldn't recommend anyone study all these things, because whatever scientists say, many things are like not valid. Okay, anyway, for nearly 700 million years, uh, Earth experienced frequent changes because of meteorites of different sizes. You must have known what is meteorites. Okay, if you don't know, check the dictionary or internet, meteorite. And they say that gradually Earth's crust, that is inner part of the solidified. They're saying before it was a liquid, then it solidified, it became like a solid, uh, and the gases accumulated and combined. There were gases present, they formed um, into different gases like methane, ammonia and hydrogen cyanide. uh, these three gases are lethal, they are harmful, along with minor gases like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. It formed the atmosphere. They say this is what formed the atmosphere. And they say prebiotic, before life arose on Earth, it was like with gases. At that time there was no oxygen. This is what they say. Okay. The next topic is origin of life. When, where and how did life begin? So scientists here they see things and they write theories based on this. So there is a general belief that life on Earth must have originated not before 4 billion years, that is giga year, and no later than 3.5 billion year ago. So they are estimating these things based on the fossils. You must know the fossils are basically under the earth. You see sedimented fossils. Okay, remains of living beings that once existed on Earth, like the fossils of dinosaurs and all other things. So they take that and they estimate the years based on carbon dating, and they estimate this thing, uh, the time period. They say cyanobacteria. There was a blue-green algae. It was called cyanobacteria. Was found in Australian from rocks dated 3.5 billion years. um, so they are assuming that based on that, since they are complex, they are assuming that the life originated much earlier than 3.5 years, 3.5 giga year. Okay, so another theory, you see here theory, there are many theories that are proposed by scientists, different scientists saying different things. They are British biologists JBS Haldane and the Russian scientist AI Oparin. They suggested that life originated in the shallow seas. You have sea, right? The shallow seas where important organic compounds such as amino acids. They know that I mean living organisms are like comprised of amino acids, and so when they see these things in the shallow seas, they say that these amino acids were formed by other gases. Okay, because amino acids are the building blocks of life. They say these organic compounds were present in high concentrations, forming a primordial soup. Primordial is basically before the life was originated. That is the meaning of primordial. Soup is basically like a mixture of liquid and gas, all these things. So they say before the emergence of life, there was necessary ingredients. Okay, they suggested that because of the absence of oxygen, the primitive earth was present. Okay, and from the primordial soup, that is according to the definition, primordial soup is basically a liquid and gas mixture containing all these gases and organic compounds. This life was originated according to them. Then Stanley Miller and Harold Urey, they provided experimental support. In the laboratory, they did experiments and they uh, kind of produced amino acids from this methane and ammonia and hydrogen in a solution. They passed electric charges and finally they found some amino acids. So they came into theory that okay, this is what happened in billions of years ago. With their simple experiment in the laboratory, they came up with a theory. Anyway, we don't believe completely in all these things. If that is how Allah made the earth, then that's fine. But many things that are unseen, we cannot talk about unseen. Islam is a religion in which we do not speak without knowledge. Okay, we don't speak without knowledge about any things. So that's why many unseen things we do not know, so we cannot boldly claim that this is what happened. But anyway, we will see what other scientists say. So on the deep sea ocean floor of oceans, there are sites which have vents. Vents is like cracks or like deep cracks. Extremely hot dissolved gases in this, dissolved in the water, and they keep coming out. Okay, violently. You can see search on internet, and you can see those videos. And they come violently, and near those cracks, there are archaebacteria. They live in that area. They are adapted to live at high temperatures exceeding 100 degrees Celsius, and that's why they are called as hyperthermophiles. Philes means phils means those that loves certain things. So thermophiles means those that they love heat. Thermo is heat. Hyper means high, and they near that, and they live there. Their source of energy is that they chemosynthetically. That is, we saw about chemosynthesis, that organism which produce their food through chemical process. So then the recent hypothesis, they are saying another hypothesis that the life evolved around this hydrothermal vents in the oceans. Okay, there are many theories. One of the theories, they are saying this is a recent theory. So this is the Oparin and Hellens experiment that was done in the laboratory. Here is the boiling water. Water is there. Water supply comes here. This is a condenser. Condenser is basically it condenses the gases into water. Okay, like the condensation happen in the rain. Gases go and uh, the cool wind passes through that and it becomes water. So here water is supplied, water is there. Here the water is boiled, then the gases go here, and here the gases are there, methane and H2, hydrogen, and all these things. Then electrodes are there. Electrodes are basically those which are used to supply electricity. So when this spark a discharge from the electricity, they claim that amino acids were formed. Okay, this is the experiment. So here, regardless of where life had begun, they are saying how life emerged is still a mystery. You can see that how life emerged is still a mystery. Even for scientists, is still a mystery. So now, even if they assemble all the organic compounds essential for life, and they cannot produce any living organisms capable of growing, reproduction, storing, and passing on hereditary map to its offspring. You know that Allah has created the living organisms. It's complex. They have growing features, reproduction is there, storing is there, for the regular functioning is there. It's extremely complex. They are saying this all came from nothing. Okay, this is like impossible to believe. Okay, so you read this about we read about these things. Then the diversification of life. They are saying initially it came from simplest unicellular organisms, that is prokaryote microorganisms. Then from there photosynthesis happened. Photosynthesis, you know that from solar energy food nutrient is prepared. Then they emitted oxygen. Then uh, other organisms formed from their origin from there. This is what their theory states. Other eukaryotes with cell proper nucleus formed. Okay, and then suddenly about 16 million years ago, in a geological period called Cambrian, they call this period called as Cambrian, there was diversification of life into multicellular organism. They say that there was a lot of multicellular organisms with variety came into existence. Biologists call this period as Cambrian explosion. And in this geological time scale, we are going to see what scientists say from their theory. This is called as Cenozoic, and these are the period. This is a epoch is like the period they call it, uh, different period, and age millions of years ago. They say before 1.8 to 0.01 million years ago, ice ages humans appeared. Then before 5 to 1.8, ape like ancestor of humans. Like that, they are having a time scale. Like before 4500, origin of Earth. Then before 3500, origin of life. Like you have like stepwise based on their theory. We don't believe completely in all these things. These are all based on theories. You study this and remember the words. Okay, I will just explain the meaning of some of the words mentioned here. Angiosperms are like those plants use flowers and plants. uh, Mammals are, you know, that those which animals can produce, uh, give like uh, they'll have mammary gland, and they give milk to their offspring. uh, then gymnosperms are like those plants which do not have flowers. They will have naked seeds. And then you have amphibians, those that live in both in land and water, like frog. Okay, I hope other terms are like clear. These are all like general names. You just have to remember here the period, Cretaceous and Jurassic, Triassic, Permian. All these things you write it down and remember this. Inshallah, they will ask in the exam the geological time scale. You just have to study many times so that you remember this. Okay, I know it is difficult, but you have to study many times so that you remember these words. When you write like Permian, so you write it down this table on your notebook so that you remember, and you keep on studying it. Okay, don't worry, I know it's difficult, but you have to study many times so that you remember things. So in the sedimentary rock where uh, fossils are found, scientists estimate the age of those things, and they say that this is the age of particular organisms formation. So here we will end this today's lesson, inshallah. We will next class we will see the next topic, like diversity of life resulted from evolution, all these things. Okay, barakallah fikum, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.